Coming up on Bulldog News Now, from the former Lieutenant Governor of Virginia shooting his wife before killing himself to a father killing his children and injuring others, domestic violence is a serious issue in our communities. BNN dives deeper to find solutions.
And can you shimmy like a noob? We have the best moments from the event set to bring the Bulldog campus together.
Plus, we are checking out what's on the menu at this year's International Cooking Competition. BNN starts right now.
I'm Dominic Reeves. You're watching Bulldog News Now.
And I'm Brianna Holmes. We begin with campus news. The yard was alive with energy as the Alpha Lambda chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated hosted their Shimmy Like a Noob stroll.
BNN's Kimora Aiken caught up with the members of the winning team to bring us more.
What's up, Bulldogs? It's your girl, Kimora Aiken, and you're tuned in to the Bulldog News Now. This week, we're stepping into rhythm, the tradition, and the undeniable presence of the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity, specifically the Alpha Lambda chapter here at South Carolina State, as they brought their energy with Shimmy Like a Noob. From sharp moves to unmatched precision, the yard was definitely watching. And of course, I had to tap in with the winners themselves. I got the exclusive interview with two members from the winning team, giving us the behind-the-scenes looks at what it takes to bring home the win. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Who am I here with?
Naya.
And Naya, how did you enjoy Shimmy Like a Noob last night?
I gave it a 10 out of 10. It was such a fun experience. I think all the teams come together and like seeing the show put together. It was fun. It was cool.
And what was your favorite part about the night?
Us winning.
Period. Okay. And what's the name of your team?
HBK.
Thank you. Who am I here with?
John C. Oliver, a Spring 25 initiate of the Alpha Lambda chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
And what was your role last night in Shimmy Like a Noob?
I was an assistant captain of the winning team, Team HBK.
And what was your favorite part about the show last night?
My favorite part of the show was before the show, the preparation it took before it, the connections I made with my slam team, and it was just a fun thing to put together, and obviously the victory at the end, the celebration, all the hard work we put in for it to all pay off, and it to be.
Big congratulations again to the winning team. Your performance didn't just show skill, it also honored the legacy. And shout out to the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, the Alpha Lambda chapter, for keeping the tradition alive and proud of them too. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm Kimora Aiken, and that's your Bulldog News Now.
We have seen the deadly headlines where spouses and sometimes kids are the victims of domestic violence. It's not just happening in other states. Here in South Carolina, it's estimated that 30,000 cases of intimate partner violence occurs each year. Yes, 30,000 cases.
In 2024, there were 59 domestic violence homicides in South Carolina. That's according to South Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault. Homicides are the most deadly form of violence. It might not seem like a high number, but behind each number is a family affected, including kids. BNNSCSTATE Dallas Barnes joins us in the studio to take a deeper dive into domestic violence.
Domestic violence is on the rise in the United States, and for some, this hits close to home. SCSU's Family Consumer Science Department and others share their insight and stories into the causes and effects of domestic violence. Unfortunately, statistics say that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men will experience some form of domestic violence in their lifetime. BNN went around SC State's campus to get staff, students, and faculty's perspective on this issue, as well as share their personal experiences.
I had a daughter who actually battled with childhood depression from just seeing everything that I went through, and she started stuttering. I later understood that she was battling with childhood depression, and she didn't understand what really was going on, so her mind and her conversations was just not operating effectively. They need to be recognized. A lot of times we don't know until we get into the situation, but it has happened before with the same people. So being able to implement something where we can recognize these people, they are acknowledged somewhere where it's just not when it happens.
Dr. Tucker, the Dean of the College of Graduate and Professional Studies, as well as a former social worker, had this to say about the causes and risk factors for domestic violence.
I used to be a domestic violence coordinator with Casa Family Systems here in Orangeburg, South Carolina. So my first encounter, I guess, working with victims has been working with victim services here at Casa Family Systems, and also working closely with our Orangeburg County Sheriff's Department. So it's been deemed in the research that domestic violence is a learned behavior. So oftentimes, if for perpetrators that come from families where domestic violence is witnessed, oftentimes when you see that, you can often become a perpetrator yourself. You learn the violence. If you are a victim of domestic violence, also contact your local domestic violence agency. Here it's Casa Family Systems. In our state, you can reach out to SCSTATE, which is the organizations within South Carolina that work with the leading agency for domestic violence and sexual assault.
As stated, if you or someone you know is or has been a victim of domestic violence, support is available. Don't delay. In reporting for BNN, I'm Dallas Barnes.
A major leadership change is happening with the Apple company. CEO Tim Cook is stepping down after 15 years with the company. The head of hardware engineering, John Turnus, will take over his position. Cook is not leaving the company totally. He will serve as the executive chairman. In a statement, Cook said, "It has been the greatest privilege of my life to be the CEO of Apple and have to be entrusted to lead such an extraordinary company." Started on April 22, 1970, Earth Day has served a beacon of light for our planet and the cleanliness of it.
BNN's Carzell Burnell explores the why behind our celebration of Earth Day with some help from the world-renowned scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson.
What's up, y'all? It's Carzell Burnell, and today is Wednesday, April 22nd, also known as Earth Day. Now look, I tried to get some interviews with some professors on campus to tell us, as Bulldogs, what Earth Day was about and when it started. However, everybody was busy, so I decided to reach out. Well, not reach out, but I reached out. But I decided to reach out to Neil deGrasse Tyson via YouTube, and we're gonna see what's going on with Earth Day. So without further ado, Neil, take it away.
First was 1970, so you can ask, well, what was going on, right? Well, if you go back a few years earlier, I think when was it, 1962, Rachel Carson published a book called Silent Spring.
Nice.
And many people know about this book, especially environmentalists, and many people sort of trace the birth of the modern environmental movement to that book. What it did was it highlighted the causes and effects of things we are doing in our environment to our food stocks. All right, and it particularly highlighted DDT as a pesticide, as a chemical that had recently been invented, just a couple of, I think, late 30s, 1940s. It was a new chemical that had this effect on insects. Well, what effect does it have on you? All right, and so or the environment or the soils. So it was an exploration of the causes and effects of our actions.
Shout out to Neil. But apparently, Rachel Carson dropped a book called Silent Spring and literally dropped the net and went crazy. And from that, controversy sparked about how we take care of our planet as an entire civilization. As a result, Earth Day's first day was kicked off in 1970. Now, all around the world, people can participate in this illustrious holiday by simply finding some trash, picking it up, and putting it in its rightful place.
Shout out to Neil deGrasse Tyson, and thank you, Carzell, for some history on Earth Day. SC State students gathered for the motivational speaker event where it focused on growth, self-discipline, and future success. Here's my story. U.S. Army and grad student Vaughn Tucker came down to SC State to talk with students on how important it is to have self-discipline and to always stay motivated when it comes to your future career. With his journey in the military, it was never easy for him, but it changed him for the better. It made him stay disciplined to his work and throughout his career. That's what he encourages young students to do, and to not let other things that's going on in the world be a distraction to what you want to do in life.
There's a discrepancy from your reality. You might see your friends posting 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 80,000. You might have to make that 40,000 and build off of that so you can get that 70,000, 80,000.
After grad school, Tucker plans to get his LPC to be a licensed practitioner. Executive Director for the Student Success, Samuel Hinton, also shared a few words with students that while working his position, it would be a hassle trying to get students to go to class.
They can't even hear me. I mean, dead to the world, everybody. So I got to go, hey. You know, I got to do all this shaking. What time are you supposed to be in class?
I spoke with Mr. Hinton after the event on what he hoped students took away from this event.
Discipline, resilience, not only academically, but for their everyday life. You know, once they leave South Carolina State University, we want them to matriculate to the institution, but we also want them to complete at the institution level as well. So we want them to graduate. So our simple motto is matriculation to graduation, and it is our hopes that not only that they succeed academically, but for their everyday life that they will as well.
Towards the end, students heed Tucker and Hinton's advice and will continue to work hard for their education. Make sure to stay dedicated to your studies and your future career. More and more states are pushing to have the 10 Commandments in the classroom. In a 9-8 decision with the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, Texas is one of the latest states to allow the religious documents in the classroom. Supporters are championing this week's victory while opponents say this is a bad move. Church and state should remain separated. The larger picture suggests this ruling could open the door for more states to add bills to require 10 Commandments in the classroom. Louisiana, Arkansas, and Alabama have already started that process. Critics are planning to appeal this decision. At some point, the U.S. Supreme Court could get involved with this issue. Based on our research, South Carolina lawmakers have put up a similar bill, but hasn't made it out of the House.
It is critical that individuals empower themselves with information and knowledge in order to develop healthy lifestyle behavior. Director of Brooks Health Center, Pinky Carter, gave this statement to BNN in connection to National STI Awareness Week. STI stands for Sexually Transmitted Infections. The health center sponsored an event to make the campus more aware of testing and other services to keep everyone safe and healthy. A special event took place on campus this week. We're highlighting a crucial initiative right here on campus. As a part of our ongoing commitment to health and well-being, the university is hosting an important event focused on sexually transmitted infections.
Experimental and feel that invincible, that this doesn't happen to me. And I hear it all the time that I don't deal with those kind of people. But if you're having multiple partners at different times, then you are messing with those kind of people, because the more partners you have, the greater your risk of being exposed to something.
This event aims to raise awareness, provide education, and offer resources for prevention and testing. The pop-up offered free STI screenings, educational resources, refreshments, and giveaways. Some healthcare professionals had to say. People contracting STIs.
Usually people who are dealing with higher mental health symptoms like anxiety, depression, diagnoses like bipolar and things like that, there is a higher correlation to risky behaviors such as higher and more risky sexual activity. And so the more we are engaging in sexual activity that's more risky, no condoms, they're more impulsive, then the more likelihood you would contract an STI, just because of the impulsivity that comes with those mental health symptoms.
The Health Center facilitates awareness programs throughout the year, including World AIDS Day, National Black HIV and AIDS, and Condom Week.
While SC State was focused on Bulldog Fest, the astronauts from NASA's mission Artemis II were making history. 4 astronauts spent about 10 days exploring the outer space, flying around the moon, and collecting data.
In the end, Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, and Christina Koch and Jeremy Hansen had a successful journey. Here's some sound from their return.
I have not processed what we just did, and I'm afraid to start even trying. Even bigger than my challenge trying to describe what we went through, the gratitude of seeing what we saw, doing what we did, and being with who I was with, it's too big to just be in one body.
What impressions we had. And honestly, what struck me wasn't necessarily just Earth, it was all the blackness around it. Earth was just this lifeboat hanging undisturbingly in the universe.
The Artemis 2 mission will help with the future moon exploration. Next year, Artemis 3 will practice docking a capsule with the lunar lander to orbit around Earth. And Artemis 4 will try to land on the moon's south pole. What do you have to taste for? Japanese food? Perhaps African? Maybe Jamaican?
Let's check out International Cooking Competition with BNN's Shamari Blanton.
The Office of Global Engagement has done it yet again with another one of their events. I'm Shamari Blanding here at the International Cooking Competition, and let's see what we have on the menu. All right, so who am I here with today?
Hello, my name is Rentasia. My team's not here yet, but it's okay. We're making Jamaican jerk chicken, and we also make a banana bread festival and rice and peas.
Okay, so what ethnic group does your plate belong to, or your dish belong to?
Okay, ethnic group belongs to like not African American, black people in general. Definitely comes from Jamaica, a Caribbean style, and also there's other ways you can make jerk chicken, but this is the authentic way, straight out of Jamaica, guys.
Okay, thank you so much.
Stuttering there too much. Don't get me started.
So who am I here with?
Samaria Ellis.
And could you tell us what's on the menu today?
So today we chose to do a Japanese dish. So we're using chicken katsu with rice and cabbage, pork dumplings, and then a sponge cake called castella.
And do you think that you will be today's winner?
I hope so.
All right, thank you so much, Samaria. So who am I here with today?
My name is Stephen Paul. I'm a graduate student in transportation engineering, and we're having a cooking competition. It's my first time here. It's a little bit intense, but very fun and very interesting, as you can see.
I agree. I'm having a whole lot of fun myself. This is also my very first competition that I'm doing a story on, or my very first competition overall. But I would love to ask you, what is on the menu today?
So we get some pilau. These are all East African dishes. We got pilau. We got chapati. It's right there. We get chips mayai. And also we are making some mishkaki, which are right here. Those are meat skewers. Some of them they have Swahili names, so it's going to be interesting once you see them once they're done.
Yes, I'm so excited. And then the last and final question, what is your group name? I see that it's very unique.
Yes, it's Mahanjumati.
Okay.
That means delicious food. So Mahanjumati chefs, the chefs which make delicious food.
All right, thank you so much, Stephen. All right, so who am I here with today?
Joshua Chef Martin.
And then what is your role in the international cooking competition?
I'm one of the chef judges, prior student of 3 years, winner of the last 2 competitions, chef and general manager outside of this. Loving it.
You said what?
Loving it.
All right, well, what dish are you most excited to try today?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited to try all of them.
Okay.
They come from a unique background of separate cultures. 2 of which are African, 1 is Japanese, so I'm looking forward to the fusion of it.
Well, I am so excited to see what you like within all of the dishes. Thank you for joining me today. As judges got closer and closer to selecting a winner, the cooks were growing anxious. The tasting is done, and all bellies are full. But who will take home the win? Let's find out and see.
In addition to that, you all desserts. So in first place, I have Taste of the Caribbean.
All right, so please repeat who I am here with again.
The winner of the cooking challenge, Rentasia Broom. Yes.
Yes, and please tell me, how do you feel? Did you expect to win? How did you feel during the how was your experience while cooking and everything? While the judges came out and was tasting your food, while the participants came out and tasted your food? Because personally, I tried it and I thought it was amazing. I really loved your jerk chicken. I loved your peas and rice. It was just so good. So please, just let us know your experience.
Okay, my first experience was I was feeling iffy. My team already not showing up when they needed to show up, but it's cool. I'm like, I'm gonna still show up. I started making it. I'm getting confident as people come in. They like, this looking good. I'm like, hey. So then I made all the food. Me and my friend Ashanti, we were the only two. Mind you, everybody else had 4 people, and we the only two. We busting it. We busting in and out. We doing everything. And then also, so towards the end, I'm starting to feel a drain. I'm like, oh, I'm over it. Like, oh my God, I'm low-key feeling over it. But then I got through it. I made the plates, and then people started trying them, and then they started to announce winners. Guys, they told me I won. I didn't even believe it first. So after that, it was just like, yeah, I know I'm finna win. So once they told me again, y'all, I started jumping. I'm like, ooh, I won. And I got a 92 or a 96. I don't know. But it was 90.
Thank you so much. I can tell that you're so excited and so joyous. I can tell you did not expect this at all. But thank you so much and congratulations. And I hope you can come back again next year and try again. As you can see, we all had a delicious start to our day. I'm Shamari with BNN.
Doesn't that story make you want to get in a tasty mood? Thanks for that story, Shamari. Final exams are around the corner and stress is rising.
BNN's Sean Travis talked to students about how they're preparing and feeling.
Finals week is here, and for a lot of students, that means stress levels are at an all-time high. From packed libraries to late-night study sessions, the pressure's everywhere you look.
The most stressful exam that I had, honestly, was General Chemistry 2. And the reason why it was the most stressful is because it required a lot of hard work, and you need to spend a lot of time doing calculus, and it takes a lot of your time and concentration.
I just came from principles of microeconomics, and I gotta actually go to the library right after this to go study for it and try to get a good grade.
Microeconomics analysis. It's just a lot going on. There's a lot of different moving parts, but I feel like I got a good strong suit on it, but it do got me a little stressed out right now, you know.
Some students are pushing through long nights to keep up, while others are trying to stay balanced, managing their time, getting rest, and keeping their focus. No matter their approach, the goal is the same: make it through the finish line.
No pacing. I need to lock in and get to the library, get to the study room, get some tutors.
I really wish I had a routine. I haven't had a good start of the year building that routine because a lot of the coursework was a little easier for me, so I got them done a little bit earlier. But as it's crunch time right now, I was being a little lazy. We had a lot of events going on. Right now, I pulling all nighters, man. I'm grinding it through right now.
My method now is studying and take breaks whenever it's necessary so I can have good results and also have a good time to have good time resting.
And with the finish line finally in sight, students are holding on just a little longer, ready to close the books and take that well-earned break as we enter the next chapter.
And the first thing I'm doing to celebrate being done is going to work, man. You know, I love school, I love education and all that stuff, but I got to get my pockets right, man.
On camera, I'm going to go get ready for the summer in a very legitimate fashion.
I believe that I'm going to take a little break, maybe for 3 days or 1 week, but after that, I plan to make a training and work during the summer in an internship.
Turning to some sad news, we're learning more about the mass shooting at the Mall of Louisiana in the capital city of Baton Rouge. At least 6 people were shot, including 1 person confirmed dead. The incident is said to have happened between 2 groups of people in the mall's food court. It's not clear how many people opened fire. 5 people are in custody. Investigators are continuing to look for details to make sense of the incident.
I'm Dallas Barnes, and this is your Underground Report. Mark your calendar for Monday, May 4th, 2026. That's the date for the annual Met Gala. It's a benefit event known for fashion, and more fashion. This year's theme is tailored for you. While many celebrities are expected to be there, some critics are turning a nose to the event, especially since Jeff Bezos and his wife are sponsoring it. If you recall, they have received lots of backlash since becoming Trump supporters. One person we know for sure who won't be there is Zohran Mamdani, the mayor of New York. We'll be watching to see who shows and who doesn't. This week, the singer David pleaded not guilty to charges surrounding the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. David, whose real name is David Burke, was jailed this month after authorities charged him with murder. This comes after the body of Hernandez was found in his car last year. Prosecutors allege Burke was sexually abusing the young girl, and she was planning to report the relationship. So he killed her. David became popular after going viral on TikTok and YouTube. More evidence about the murder will be released in the near future. And McDonald's has officially jumped on the protein wave by offering more details about which items have protein. Here's a breakdown of some of the menu. A cheeseburger has 15 grams. A McDouble has 22, and a chicken McNugget, a 10-piece chicken McNugget, has 23 grams of protein. I'm Dallas Barnes, and that's your Underground Report.
Welcome back, Bulldogs. I'm Dominic Reeves, and this is your weekly weather report. Kicking things off Friday, we're in the high 80s with the high 87 and going as low as 59. Saturday, we dropped 1 with the high of 86 with the same low as the day before, but cover up, Bulldogs, because there's a 76% chance of rain as well. Sunday, we're back in the low 80s at 81 with the low of 52. In the start of the week, Monday, we stooped to the 70s with the high of 76, at night 54. Tuesday, we make it back to 80, followed by a low of 61, accompanied by a 39% chance of rain. Wednesday, we're in the low 80s at 83 with the same low as Tuesday, as well as a 24% chance of rain. And rounding out this week's weather report is Thursday with the high of 84 and 62 is our low, with a 21% chance of rain. Thanks for tuning in, Bulldogs. I'm Dominic Reeves with BNN, signing off.
The South Carolina State University Lady Bulldog softball team traveled to Spartanburg to take on USC Upstate with something to prove. It wasn't the start they wanted. In Game 1, NC State was run ruled after a series of questionable calls that shifted momentum early. But in Game 2, the Lady Bulldogs responded. In the first inning, Dallas Hill got things going with a 3-run homer to center field, bringing in Kylie Nelson and Lachey Marleau to give South Carolina State an early 3-0 lead. In the circle, Diamond Roundtree delivered a strong performance, keeping Upstate off balance throughout the game. Behind her, her defense stepped up and made key plays when it mattered most. Upstate answered in the 4th inning, scoring 2 runs to cut the lead to 1, but South Carolina State stayed composed. At the plate, Lachey Marleau continued to make an impact, helping the Lady Bulldogs stay aggressive offensively. In the 5th, Kylie Nelson added an RBI single to extend the lead to 4-2. Upstate managed to make it a 1-run game again, but the Lady Bulldogs didn't fold. In the 7th inning, Elaine Urell came through with a clutch RBI single following an obstruction call, sealing the 5-3 win for South Carolina State. The victory marks the first time in program history that South Carolina State has defeated USC Upstate. It's another big milestone for head coach Nikhil Hall as the program continues to build momentum. With the win, the Lady Bulldogs improved to 18-18 on the season, evening their record at now 500. With confidence on their side, South Carolina State turns its focus back to conference play as they prepare to face off against North Carolina Central University this weekend.
To now, what's trending? One airline is changing the game by allowing in-flight phone and video calls. British Airways is making it easier for passengers to talk on their cellular devices while touching the clouds. Using Starlink Wi-Fi, those on British Airways can call a friend and chat it up.
In the U.S., airlines haven't allowed a such thing for safety reasons and because they didn't want to allow a plane with everyone have speakerphone and conversations. The British Airways is suggesting that all passengers be considerate by keeping their voices low and using headphones. So, Brianna, if you have a chance to make phone calls while in flight, would you do it, or do you prefer a quiet plane ride?
I prefer a quiet airplane ride. I don't like so much noise. Do you?
I don't really care too much about it. But
well.
This is Dominic Reeves with BNN.
I'm Brianna Holmes.
And we're signing off.